September 16th, 2025, open meeting of the Board of Health in Warren. A couple of things before we open. You need to make sure that if you are, meeting is being recorded and broadcast by our local cable access channel, WCAT, Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube. If anyone in the audience is recording, please let us know. A couple orders of business also. In order to speak tonight, you have to make sure that when you come up to the podium, you state your name and whether you're a resident of the town of Warren or not. You're limited to 3 minutes speak, and then that will allow other people to speak at the same time. Okay? We request that you be respectful in your comments, as we have to be respectful to you. With that, we call this meeting to order. Follow-up discussion number one is on 920 Old West Brookfield Road. Previous septic application with Rich Demetrius and Rebecca Acera, along with the request to redact or rewrite the letter written by the chair regarding the removal of installer on the disposal system construction permit for 920 Old West Brookfield Road.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Rebecca Acera and Rich Demetrius were here regarding 920 Old West Brookfield Road. Just a point of not contention, but if you guys could speak up, because when that air is on, when you try to watch the YouTube video, it's very, very hard to hear you. I just wanted to, we received a letter, as you know, as you had stated, you were going to send out after the August 12th meeting. But there's a couple of things that we wanted to discuss with the board. After reading it, we feel that the letter should be rescinded as a whole and rewritten accurately to reflect the discussion and the facts which are at the heart of this issue. The letter does accurately state, at Rich's request, that his name be removed and the money returned. However, the last paragraph says, and I quote, "In accordance with 310 CMR 15.000 Title 5 in the Town of Warren Board of Health Regulations, septic installer permits, disposal system construction permits are non-transferable and non-refundable once issued." So a couple of things, totally understand that. Looking at your website though, that non-refundable statement was added September 24. This application was October of 23. So, and I do agree if there is work done, then fees should not be refunded. However, I think this situation is unlike any other. I took the liberty to also review 310 CMR 15, the Title 5 regs, and had a chance to go through it. I read the basics such as local authorities, on-site sewerage systems, certificate of compliances, and especially the riveting nitrogen-sensitive areas, soil texture triangle, among other things. However, I could not find any mention of fees being non-refundable, as you state in your letter. I would like to, if you could provide that section for me.
That is not in the Massachusetts regulations. That is Town of Warren requirement.
Okay, well, you state in accordance with Title 5 CMR in your letter. Second, the letter is now a public document, and it reads as though Mr. Demetrius did something wrong. You state, quote, "You are no longer authorized to perform work under this approval." Aside from being completely incorrect, we find this statement to be highly defamatory, and we demand that the letter be rewritten. Frankly, I would think that your board would start out by saying, well, thank you, Mr. Demetrius, for bringing this situation to our attention. Because if it weren't for him, you would have no knowledge of any of this. And God knows there's plenty of stuff wrong with 920 Old West Brookfield Road. You know it, I know it, he knows it, the cops know it. Then we had a chance to review the meeting from YouTube, and a couple of things stand out. Multiple times during the conversation, the chairman acknowledged, quote, "We have a problem and we rectified the problem." As a matter of fact, it was at 18:36 in the meeting that you agreed with Mr. Demetrius was concerned that this matter could be criminal. At 20:45, you stated that quote, is, and a couple of other things, is why we removed her as agent. At 22:38, Rich asked if the board was gonna look into this or if it was a dead issue. And the chairman again responded, no, we have other issues other than this. At 30 minutes into the discussion, a former board member, Mr. Condrat, who's not here tonight, stated that when he was on the board, there were problems with her. Mr. Condrat stated it was fraud, the chairman stated, yes it is, and I quote. At 21:02, backing up a little bit during the discussion, I had asked about policies and oversight, and you said that you were gonna see if there was any. Is there?
Currently, no.
Currently, no. Okay. So, from what we see, Rich paid for an installer's license, according to the rules and regs. He paid for an application for a disposal system construction permit, FY 24-6 for $250. And then there was a construction permit given. Seeing that the Title V inspector signed the construction permit on 12/9, infers that she reviewed the plan, thus submitted for payment June 24, 6 months after the fact, and further reasoning behind the partial reimbursement. Mr. Ferrara said that Rich was gonna get a partial reimbursement, which we did, for $100, because she did some work. She approved the plan, but I would like to know, where's the plan? And what's in that file now?
Mr. Chairman, everything in that paperclip is what
Yep.
you have redacted, and the plans are right behind it, right there.
Okay, there's a copy of your letter here, the letter that we sent you. There's a
August
co-
18th?
Excuse me?
The August 18th one?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a copy of the certificate of compliance on 920 Old West Brookfield Road. And it's signed by, as installer information, Richard Demetrius. And then it's also signed at the bottom by the approving authority, Chrissy, whatever her last name.
Yeah, no.
Okay, the other page behind that is Form 2A. Again, signed by Chrissy with Rich's name on it. And the application for disposal system construction permit. Again, Rich's name on it. And it's agreement B on the last page with Rich's signature.
It's a what on the last page, I'm sorry?
Rich's signature, agreement B. Agreement B,
Agreement B?
yes.
It's just the Form 1A.
Yes, it's Form 1A.
Yep, okay. So where's the plan?
Plan is right behind it.
Because it wasn't in the file before.
Which is right here.
And in the file, hold on.
Okay,
This
so
is the
we'll
plan that we have with
take that
the,
plan back.
with the, $100 check that was refunded to you.
Excuse me, Rich Demetrius, is the plan stamped approved? By the Board of Health?
Mark Farrell has a stamp on it.
That's the engineer.
There's Chrissy's signatures right there.
Yep, right underneath the seal.
What's it say?
Her signature, 12523.
Okay, but that is not an approval. If you go back and look at all the plans that have ever been done, there's a red stamp that stamps approved. The DEP requires, when the Board of Health is, when you submit a set of plans to the Board of Health, the Board of Health has to approve with conditions, or deny, one of the three. A simple signature does none of that. You have to say, if it's approved, there's the red stamp, it's approved. Every other system I've ever done, Warren, has been done that way. You can go through any file, and you'll see a red stamp and approved. A simple signature is nothing but, I could say it's approved, and you could say, no, this is disapproved. It's up for argument, because it doesn't say what it is. DEP regulations right here say, once the Board of Health building department have approved your application, they will send you a letter in writing which says either A, approves the request with specific conditions, or must be done and denied on the request. The plan has to have one of those on it. So that's what you're saying I paid for, but I don't have it.
We're not here to argue with the board. You guys were put in a terrible position. Like I said, there's a lot going on over there. However, you do have a duty to this office. You can't continually rubber stamp things. And again, if you don't have any policies, that's a problem. There's one of the other things that through the public records request shows where the Morgan Harrison Company, Rich, he paid the $250 for the application, and then on the invoice from the former Title V agent, there was an invoice that she submitted for payment in the amount of $100. So it was $250. It looks like the town paid her $100 for the work performed, and we got a reimbursement check, or a partial reimbursement for $100. Now, my higher math skills tell me we're missing $50. Where is that money?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, members of the board. My name's Jim Ferrera. I am the town administrator for the town of Warren. A few weeks ago, I received a phone call from Mr. Demetrius from the Morgan Harris Company requesting a refund and to file a complaint stating that he had filed an installer's permit for 920 Old West Brookfield Road and did not install the septic system and wanted a refund of the $250. I did look into that. I contacted the Board of Health Administrative Assistant, Jessica, as well as the chair of the Board of Health and its members to look into the complaint that I had received. Upon looking into and reviewing the file that is before you, Mr. Chairman, this evening, it was clear to me that an application was submitted by the Morgan Harris Company, signed off by Mr. Rich Demetrius back in October of 2023. At that time, it was not clear as to whether or not the board had a policy or noted on their fee schedule fees are non-refundable. It has been a past practice of maybe this board and some other boards in town where if a fee was paid and work was not completed and there was a legitimate complaint that was issued, there may be a partial refund of a fee. So it's not unusual for the town to give a refund of a fee. Now moving forward in adopting best practices, I believe the board has adopted and is now stated on their fee schedule, fees are non-refundable for everybody across the board. So now that that policy has been established, that's what we're doing moving forward. So back then, since it could not be verified, if the fee was non-refundable or not, we looked into it. I was provided a file by Jessica. The file had the application in it. It was signed off by Chrissy Florence, who was the Title V agent at the time. And it was also signed by Mr. Rich Demetrius. It appeared as though that the plan had been reviewed as part of the process, but it did not appear that a final inspection had been done. So at the time, the $250 encompasses a plan review and that's at $100. The final inspection would be at another $100, and then $50 would be the administrative fee that the town collects. So that's how the breakdown happened at that particular time. Now, fees have changed since that time, but that was the breakdown at that time. So after reviewing the complaint and reviewing what had been paid out to the Title V agent at the time, and cross-referencing records with the accountant's office, as well as the turnover sheets that were turned over to the treasurer, the Title V agent at the time was paid out the $100 for the plan review that was completed. The other $100 for the final inspection was not completed, and so I thought it was appropriate, and I recommended to the board that the board refund $100 to Mr. Demetrius for this matter. And I think that was fair, as given the events that had occurred. So that's where we are today. This complaint came in probably the beginning part of a week, and was resolved by the end of the week after talking with the board members and talking with the Board of Health. I had called up Mr. Demetrius and let him know the outcome of this situation. I offered for him to come up and pick up his check. He declined, and it was mailed out to him subsequently thereafter. So, you know, as far as the town is concerned, the fee matter is resolved.
Can I just address that, Jim? If things happen the way you said it,
Don't talk to him, address the chair. and
okay.
then it goes to him.
I would agree with Jim 1,000% if that's what happened. Fees are not refundable. I didn't come here because I didn't want to do the septic system and I wanted out of this job. I wanted to do the septic system. It was the town Board of Health that denied me the ability to do this septic system. When she approved that plan on 12/9, and then she signed the certificate of compliance, that application is closed. She signed it the same day. It was illegal for me. You said in your letter to me, I'm prohibited from doing it. Everyone was prohibited from doing it. Once the certificate of compliance is issued, it's a closed permit. No one can work on it any longer. It's done. It is done. The reason I'm asking for the money back, what should have happened, it's no fault of anyone's. The contractor, I took out the application to do this system. Then the contractor has dragged their feet. Otherwise, if a month later I went and I dug a hole and I called for an inspection on the bottom of the hole, this would have come up that this thing was already inspected. Everything would have had to stop. At that point, a refund would be given, but you can't just say, oh, we're going to cross out this application, and the application's closed. A whole new application has to be written. At that point, you refund the money, I give you another check for the new application. You don't just swap money back and forth. There's got to be a money train. But that didn't happen because these guys dragged their feet for so long. Then I started getting concerned when I saw them digging where this leach field was supposed to be, so I went to see if my name was still on the application. That's when this whole thing came apart. I wanted nothing more than to do this job. It's the town of Warren that cost me tens of thousands of dollars for not being able to do it. And then now they're saying, well, you got a review. I didn't get a review because she killed it the day she reviewed it. She closed it out. No one could do the system. It's closed. So in your files, there should be a note saying there's an error on this application. It is no good. It should be refunded, rescinded, and start over. That's what has to happen. I'm not trying. I could care less about the $250. It's the whole point of what's going on. My name was attached to that. Right now, the way that this looks, if somebody bought that house, I'm liable because my name was on this application is being done and completed. And somebody could have put this thing in a 55-gallon barrel. Who knows? If people buy the house and it fails, I'm the guy on. Are you guys going to come to court with me and say, oh yeah, by the way, that never happened. There was a mistake on the plan. You know, I mean, that's what upsets me about this. That's why I'm so. This is a public document and it should reflect what happened.
And Jim, I agree with you, I agree with 1,000%. If I took this permit out and said, hey, I want to take my name off it, I don't get the money back. That's common sense. But that's not what happened. The town of Warren screwed up. She screwed up, she killed this permit the day she approved it and signed the certificate of compliance. Whether it was done in error or done on purpose, no one knows. But it was done. 12/9/23, no one could work on this system because it's already done. That's what my point is. And that's why I want a letter that goes in this, because it's a public document in the file saying, look, there was a screw up on this application. It was an error, whatever, but it was signed on the same day, so this whole application has to be null and void. And that should be attached to that in that file, because that's what happened. The money should come back, and you gotta start over. You say I got an approved plan, I paid for an approved plan. There is no approved plan in there. That's not an approval according to the state. That's my point. I'm not trying to be difficult with the town. I'm trying to just get this thing straightened out. You know, and as far as the money that she was paid, I'm sorry, but Jim, your name's on the warrant. And according to Mass law, I was on the conservation for 17 years. I never signed a warrant unless we verified the bill was accurate. And somebody in town should have looked, when a bill comes in from an agent or whatever, you should look in the file. Was it done? Was it right? And if someone looked in the file at that point, they would have saw, hey, wait a minute, there's a mistake here. This says it's complete, but there's no as-built even. You know, there was a million things screaming out that there was a mistake in this thing. It was already put away, everything was done. So at that point, somebody said, hey, there's a mistake. You guys should have caught this when you went to pay it. But apparently it got rubber stamped. And it was rubber stamped with my money. Because it wasn't town funds, you took my funds and you paid her with my money.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, the warrant that was paid out to the Title V agent was correct. So the warrant reflected that we paid the Title V agent $100 for the plan review, which was done. She was not paid for a final inspection, and therefore, that's why the final inspection was refunded back to the Morgan Harris Company.
But there wasn't a review done. There's no approved plan. There is no approved plan. A signature is not an approved plan. That's my point.
So our Title V agent, the way they approve him, the way Chrissy does, is she signs it. She doesn't stamp it. You can look at files in there from the time that I started. All she did was sign them. There's no stamps. Maybe that was done before, and maybe that's the way it should be done. But
It's
I can
done
tell
in
you
every
that's the
single
way
town that way.
that it's done here. From now, even with Felix doing these reviews, I send him PDF copies. And honestly, at this point, there's no stamp on the ones that we receive now. So,
I can't give you
But,
this,
and my point, I guess my point is, let's accept that she reviewed it. It didn't do me any good because she killed it as soon as she reviewed it. So I paid for something I couldn't use. I could not go install that system with that completed system. It's, you know, Jim, when something is approved, it's closed, right? You can't open, you can't take a builder permit or any permit that's signed off as complete and then start working under it again. You have to get another permit. So once she signed that COC, the day she reviewed it, the review was no good. She made an error. She screwed up. And I'm paying the price for it.
COC. See the certificate of completion.
it's right near your hand, Jim.
And that's my point, is that we're all kind of getting caught in the weeds here, whether she did a review or not. It doesn't matter. The mistake was she signed the certificate of compliance and killed it. And I didn't do it, the town did it.
I think there's.
And she signed this on 12/5/20. comments?
I mean, thing that stands out to me, you know, Rich is pointing out that the certificate was killed the day she signed the completion, but you also signed the certificate of completion same day. So,
can I just address that? The way Title V works, and Warren has, and I think did it under Ken Lacy, they switched the way it was done. But in every town, the way a septic system works is the engineer submits 4 sets of plans with applications on them for approval. The board approves those plans, then they send 3 back to the contractor, then the contractor can send it out to bid and get a job. Well, Warren's, for some reason, changed it, where they have now, it says, before they'll approve it, you need an installer to take out the application. Well, I don't know what you're taking an application out for, there's nothing approved yet, you know what I mean? But they make you sign it that way. So it was so confusing when I was there. You gave me all the stuff, said, oh, this is how we do it now, you gotta sign all this stuff, and it's all there. So I signed everything right there in front of the secretary. Because it's not the way it's done in every other town, and I've never seen it done this way. So that's why that was in that file.
May I speak?
Yeah.
If, my opinion, is if you know that you're not supposed to sign the COC, even if a secretary at that time, which I can't tell you if I said that or not, if someone told you to sign the COC and you know that's not right, why would you do it?
The whole thing was confusing. And this guy's trying to get a builder permit, and he needs and he needs this so he can get a builder permit, so it's gotta be done, so I'm, okay, I guess this is the way the Warren's doing it. That's how that got in there. I wouldn't, be if I was trying to do something on the underhandedly, I wouldn't be here saying, hey, I didn't install this septic system. Nobody's installed this septic system yet. I'm upset about this.
So you didn't install it then because your contractor was dragging his feet?
So they didn't even start the house. They didn't even start the house till this year.
Right.
And at this year, I don't know what kind of problems they have. That's their internal problems, but I ran into one of those guys because I had broken down there because we own the land behind there. And I just called him and say, hey, look, I just broke down here. I'll be right back with some parts. And that's when he said, and I started talking to him. I go, hey, I still have the permit, for the septic system, because it was a new guy that different than I dealt with before. And he goes, oh yeah, we'll talk to you about that. So I just assumed that then I saw him start digging and doing all this stuff around there. That's when I like, what the heck's going on here? These guys gonna try to put the system in and, under my application. That's why I came down to see what's going on. Because I had a bad feeling there was something going on, something was funny was going on. And that's when I said, where is the US filed? And you were as shocked as I was, I
Yeah.
think, at that point, saying, what the hell? I'm like,
The property changed hands in January too, so there was a whole new
Swap.
property.
and there's
owner
one other
sold.
issue in that. If you look at that, someone did a perk test after, not according, a different engineer did a perk test, not according to the plan that's in that file. And I don't know why anybody would do another perk test after they tried to get that plan, unless they were gonna try to move the system, but there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. I mean, once you got an approved system, you wouldn't, and there'd be no reason to move it,
Property is sold.
So, and I think at this point, this is null and void, and you are starting over with the contractor. They're gonna start all over again. So the whole application's gonna start all over again. As far as, the money, maybe the board should bring Chrissy in and ask her, say, hey, you did this incorrectly. You signed this COC and killed this thing, and we paid you in error. We shouldn't have paid you until this was straightened out.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to, again, state to the board, there was no error in payment to Chrissy. Chrissy was paid to review the plan that was submitted. That was it. And that was done. What wasn't done was the final inspection. Had that been done, she would have gotten paid for that.
Then, Mr. Chairman, there's nothing to inspect. Mr. Chairman, there's a couple of sections of Mass General Law, Chapter 41, Section 41, Payment of Compensation, Chapter 41, Section 52, Approval of Bills, Chapter 41, Section 56, warrants for payment of bills. It all talks about how the board or the department head is supposed to verify that these things are done. And like Rich said, if Jimmy, if you would have signed, and I believe Mr. Makowski was the other signature, and he's passed away, these should not be just rubber stamp payments. And then there's Chapter 41, 23B, Mr. Ferrara, Town Department, Investigation and Reports. This should be investigated. This should not fall on the Board of Health. You guys are trying to do your job, but clearly, there's a problem, first of all, with that property, as I stated before, we all know, and there's a problem, as you, Mr. Chairman, also confirmed, that there's a huge problem with the former agent. It's not right to the taxpayers of this town, it's not right to the contractors that are trying to do the right thing. And we ask you guys to do the right thing, redo the letter, because that is a public document, to reflect that it had nothing to do with the Morgan Harrison Company or Rich Demetrius. And like I said, I think it should be started with a thank you. Thank you.
Hi, my name's James Surprise. I live at 880 Old West Brookvale Road, and I'm in here. I'd like to know what was going on with 920 Old West Brookvale Road with the inspection today at 3 o'clock. In regards to what I witnessed get put in the ground.
Say that again?
Say what?
I didn't understand your last comment.
What I witnessed getting put in the ground?
Okay. I didn't
A
hear.
temporary sewer system?
When you-
Yeah, I know the
Yep.
inspectors were just there today
Yep.
at 3 o'clock.
Yep, so I went out today and I did an inspection based on your complaints.
Yep.
To my knowledge, I didn't see anything that made me, like, there was no pipe sticking
Okay.
up, I didn't see anything.
Can I interrupt you? Before you went there, I spoke with her, and I told her that everything was moved. He's already, so, and also, it was moved before I came down and talked to her.
Okay,
And 2 hours after I came down and wrote a report, he went from the front yard to the backyard with an excavator and leveled the whole yard, smoothed it all out. But I watched him move the camper 15, 20 feet, and it's sitting over the tank that I watched him put in the ground, have a worker go down in the ground on a ladder, hook a pipe to it, and connect it to the camper. The camper's been there for 2 years, but I witnessed this about 2 months ago. For some weird reason, 3 or 4 weeks later, he's digging a hole right next to that tank and builds a trench all the way to the sand pit. It stunk like sewer in my whole neighborhood, and I asked my neighbors, called them outside to smell it, and everything got buried over, and then the camper got moved after. I don't even know why a makeshift septic would be put in the ground for 2 or 3 weeks, but
I'm not sure,
that's what I witnessed.
but,
And the only way you're gonna know, because you're not gonna go on someone's property and dig a 20-foot hole, is you're gonna stick a probe in the ground and check for sewer. My water treatment, I haven't tested my water, but both my neighbors have told me that their water has high bacteria to where they can't drink it or use the ice in their freezers. Whether it's in regards to any of that, probably not, because a tank being put in the ground 2 months ago ain't gonna reach 400 or 500 feet deep in my well. But what's been going on for 2 years with that camper being over there? The camper needs to go. People are living in it. I see people every day. People come and go in the morning. Can't tell me you're not staying there and then leaving when your windshields are all fogged up in the morning. Okay? My porch faces the backyard and faces their camper. And for some weird reason, he moved the camper to where I see it even better. So, who's got the brains there? I mean, they're all a bunch of drug addicts. I don't care. I'm on camera. They're just a bunch of,
So I think
it
we're
needs to get cleaned up.
yeah, so I think we're getting just a little bit off topic. So I went out today and I did my inspection.
And you're not gonna see nothing.
So
Let her finish.
I went out, I did my inspection, I checked for everything that you said. Again, if he moved it, I looked, I went out,
No, I
I
understand.
did what
It
I
has
could
nothing to do
do.
with you guys, and it don't.
And I have
But-
to go out and investigate every complaint, and that's exactly what I did. I'm
Right.
going to write my report.
So it-
He knew we were coming, obviously, because I can't go on property without consent
And-
from the owner.
And then 3 days after I came down here, now he's got a porta toilet.
Well, I don't
And
think.
for
we-
2 years, he hasn't had a porta toilet, and now all of a sudden there's a porta toilet there. It's just,
So we just contacted him the other day about it, so I'm
Yeah.
not sure the timeline on
Yeah.
that moving. He did have a porta toilet,
But
I will
it's-
say
it just-
that.
when you
I
physically
spoke with
watch
him over the
something-
trailer about living in it, using it, you know, we talked all of that through,
Yeah,
and nothing stuck out to me that
It
made
sucks.
it seem like that he installed a makeshift septic
I don't
or
care about what
that-
anybody does, but I physically watched him take one of them water containers that farmers use all over the place for water, in a metal cage. He stuck it so deep in the ground, it was as deep as his excavator would dig. So, I mean, it's not 3 feet underground, it's 10, 15 feet underground. The guy used a ladder to climb down inside and
Is there
hook a
any
pipe
pictures?
to
If
it.
I don't have pictures or physical evidence or can't see
Yeah.
it myself, there's
Okay.
nothing, unfortunately.
So nothing else is gonna go on, like you can't inspect no more, no probing, no, I don't know how that stuff works.
I am not Title V certified. I don't do anything with Title Vs yet. I do
Right.
housing, I do food, so that is out of my scope. I go and investigate anything that could be Board of Health, like health related.
Can
Alright.
we?
So where do I go? Do I go to the police about it? Do I
don't
go
know
to,
what he would-
where do you
I
go
mean,
from
so
there?
if
I
it's the
honestly don't
camper
know.
issue, I guess maybe you could go to building.
It's a health issue too. If a tank's been put in the ground and they
So I
backed up
asked
and,
him for his water testing. He's gonna send me that with the bacteria and everything.
Yeah.
He said he had no bacteria, cause again, that would be an issue if,
yeah.
and no one's come forward to me with their bacteria, saying that they have bacteria.
I
So
got
it's-
copies on my phone right now of my next door neighbor.
I need them from the homeowner,
Rick,
so you tell the
It is from the homeowner.
so
No,
the
she needs to
homeowner
submit
has
them
to
to
report
us.
that to me, so they need
Okay.
to send me
Yeah, they won't
in,
get involved.
and then I could get involved.
Yeah, nobody wants to
But I
get
can't
involved.
just get involved with a
Yeah.
hearsay situation,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Yep,
I have to follow.
sucks.
I'm sorry.
Thanks. Have a good day. I spoke my piece.
Wendy's Price, Old West Brookfield Road. Where are they dumping that waste in that trailer?
There's no water hookup in there. They're not, they use it.
Oh, yes, there is.
Okay. Again, I went and I spoke with him and I can only,
Clean up their mess on, you know?
It's going somewhere, and there ain't no
It's
Honeywell
not
truck
on the
coming there
agenda.
once a week to
Just
clean
people
that
live
It's
trailer
not on
out.
the
Okay.
agenda to even discuss.
I can only, but I can't show up in the middle of the night to confirm that they're living there. I asked.
So what do I do from here?
So he unhitched the
So you
garden
guys
hose
are
that he
the
had run
controls
into.
One at a time.
Jim,
James Surprise,
yeah.
you guys help the town, right?
Yes.
Make it better. I don't complain about nothing. I get along with everybody. But it's not cool that something like this is being done and you guys can't do nothing about it.
Okay,
So
because
can you
this is not,
direct me?
because this is not on our topic for the agenda for tonight, we're not allowed to discuss this here tonight.
Okay.
Okay, you have to put it on, you wanna talk to us about this, you gotta get it to be put on the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay. How do we put it on the agenda?
You want it on the agenda for next meeting, talk to Jessica.
I was also just out there this afternoon, so I went from there to here. I haven't even written my report. I haven't
Okay.
done anything yet based on that.
All right.
So,
And it's
Give
not
us a
gonna
chance
happen,
to
I
do what we
understand.
need
You
to
can only
do.
do so much.
Right, that's
It's all
it.
cleaned up.
That's it, we can only do so much, but you gotta give us the chance to do
Right.
it.
I mean, he had a piece of plywood hiding the pipe and everything. Now it's all open, all cleaned up, and it's not even connected no more.
Okay, so
I
let's
understand.
table this right now, put it on the agenda for the next meeting, and then come in and we'll discuss.
Okay. Thank you.
Alright, where are we at?
Jim Miller.
Do you want me to take that, or you can,
Huh?
do you want me to take that?
Yeah, once I get it all together.
Mr. Chairman? Just to follow up on our portion of the conversation, is the board gonna vote on what we discussed tonight?
We're not gonna vote on it tonight, we're gonna take a deliberation on it, and then we'll get back to you. Okay?
So, deliberation is an open session.
We're not gonna do that tonight, we're gonna
Okay,
do
so
it.
when are you gonna do it?
What do we have available for schedule?
For our next meeting, or what are you
Our
talking?
next, Or we're doing a hearing now?
We're doing a hearing on October 21st with our open meeting.
Okay, we'll bring back them for that on also. October 21st,
At your next meeting?
yes.
Okay.
That'll be a hearing. Okay.
Well, you'll
Yeah.
have a hearing
Yeah,
separate from that.
separate,
We'll
yeah.
close the
Separate.
hearing and then we'll open up the public meeting.
Okay, so
Yeah.
21st,
Well, on the public portion.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, very good. 21st?
21st.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Next item on the agenda, discussion with Jim Allard regarding a private cemetery on his property at 430 Cutler Road Extension. And he's not here, so. Just so everyone on the board knows, I did go out and talk to him last night. Viewed the property that he's got in question. It is his property. What he's looking for is to set up monuments on his property as people pass off. No bodies or anything like that, just stone monuments. Under Massachusetts regulations, it does allow that. However, it does defer to the, what board is that?
There's printouts in there regarding cemetery regulations. Right here.
Zoning Board of Appeals, to see if the property is zoned adequately for that. The zoning board will make a determination whether that is acceptable or not. And again, under Massachusetts regulations, the state does accept that as a location for monuments and monuments only. No bodies are allowed. If he wants to go with a green burial, which was his first option, that involves cemetery commission, that involves the DEP and a whole bunch of other state regulations that I don't even want to get into right now. So he's going to be seeking out a meeting with the zoning board and then move forward from there. Next item, transfer station contract, solid waste solutions operation contract expired June 30th, 2025. They submitted a proposal on 9/2/2025 to extend the transfer station operations contract with item 3 of the previous contract, allowing for the contract to be extended for up to 2 additional one-year periods for a total of 2 years. SWS proposed the extension for the full 2 years, expiring June 20th, 2027. I think we're going to do an anticipated vote on that. So basically what they're saying is, instead of signing each additional 1 year, they want to sign the end of this year for the rest of the contract, which is 2 years, which would leave us at the end of the 2-year time frame to possibly have to go out to bid for other contractors to do the dump or the transfer station. So, do we want to sign this and give them the approval to sign for 2 years? Or do we want to keep them at the 1-year limits?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I was not aware that this was being discussed this evening. My only recommendation and suggestion might be to have town council look at it before a decision is made on this, and then maybe we could get it back to you for your next meeting.
Okay, I agree with that. You guys agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, have we had issues, like, with them running the transfer station, or?
I haven't had any complaints. The complaints that we have had, we have adjusted, they have corrected.
Okay.
So, I mean, things do pop up that if we make it aware to them, they do
They
respond to
do
it.
correct it, so, yeah, I mean, I would be fine with, you know, having, as long as town council is okay with the contract.
Okay,
I don't see any issue with,
Same here.
doing the 2 years.
I feel that they react to our complaints and
okay, so, I'll make a motion to entertain Mr. Ferrara's suggestion to seek town council's approval
Or review.
or review of the existing contract and what they want to move forward with. So I'll ask for a motion to approve. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion made,
And that was to table it to the next meeting, right?
table it to the next meeting.
Thank you.
Motion made, motion carried. Health inspector updates next.
So regarding 32 North Street, we received a housing complaint from an occupant. Went out, did an inspection, went back, tried to do a re-inspection. They rescheduled on me, property management rescheduled on me multiple times. Did the re-inspection after they said everything was done. 1 out of 9 conditions deemed to endanger were corrected. 8 still stood. After multiple reschedules for another re-inspection, they did not show. So after non-compliance multiple times, we're gonna be holding a hearing regarding this and further steps on October 21st. 28 Cottage Street, after multiple enforcement letters, still non-compliance. Court date is set for 9/24. We received a cottage food application for Kiki's Crumb. They were operating without a permit, serving in other towns, so I sent them a cease and desist for operating. We are going through the application process with them right now. She submitted all of her menus and all of her proper documentation, and I have a residential kitchen inspection with her next week. I did want to discuss, I think Jessica put it on here, for food permits for events. So if a department wants to hold an event, if they want any sort of food at it, they need to be submitting those food applications 14 days in advance. I have to have enough time to review the food, to review their past inspection, and to be able to go out to inspect to make sure that they are complying with the regulations.
So you're talking anything like
A farmer's market,
spaghetti, anything.
any type
Anything
of
that you're gonna have
event, yeah.
food trucks out, you're gonna be selling popcorn, hot dogs, whatever, it all
Any
involves.
type of food
And
has
that's
to be.
in town?
Yeah,
Yep,
yep. So if they're from another town and they wanna come, they have to submit 14 days. That way I can review everything to make sure that they're approved and in good standings with their other towns and everything also. So 14 days.
And that's in such of even like, say the fire department wants to do some kind of,
Recs department, fire,
they
yeah,
still have to do
really,
the same thing.
anywhere that wants to do any form of food has to go through
so
14
that's-
days.
we wanna understand that every department
Yeah,
has to.
yep, so
okay.
just across the board for
Say maybe send
any events.
Yeah, some
Well, I would
when the
send-
town,
Yeah.
all town, whatever.
town departments about that.
Email list that goes to
Yeah,
everybody
so
in
I
the,
have to deny a
town
few
email
for
system.
this,
Right, and
for this Friday, for
we
the
should
farmer's
all,
market.
as of tonight, or I should say as of tomorrow, post it on the website.
Yeah. It's on one of the, applications for temporary events.
Yeah, but I would still post it on the
yeah.
website.
Yeah, I would definitely make sure that's posted. I was lenient with this past week's farmer's market. I was willing to do it just because it wasn't across the board policy in place. But I think now it needs to be a policy in place. That way we hold the same standard for
Correct.
every department regarding that. And then that's all on my end.
Okay, thank you. All right, the next item, topic is PHP discussion on scheduling the exercise for the All Hazards Public Health Framework. The exercise should be a discussion-based tabletop and needs to include your public health, emergency management, and public safety representatives. Any more information on that?
Yeah, so, I've reached out to Erin, who will
Erin-
hopefully, Erin McMurray through the
Okay.
Shared Services Grant.
I get it mixed up with the other one.
Yeah, it's not MHOA. Through the Shared Services Grant to help coordinate this tabletop exercise, and I believe Jim is pretty aware of how these tabletop exercises go.
Basically, we would need to involve emergency management, police, fire, depending on what it is, basically all the
All
departments.
departments.
A representative. They would be at a tabletop exercise, this sounds like, right?
Yes.
So it would be just possibly on a whiteboard in a room, going over a scenario.
Mhm.
So we would just have to reach out to all the chiefs, I would say, and the date and the times.
Do we have a deadline on this?
The email is printed out in your,
December
Um,
31st.
yeah,
Yeah, the permanently satisfied with submitting your communities by September 31st, 2025.
That doesn't give us much time.
no.
By September.
September
Mhm.
31st, yes.
So basically, we just have to get everyone together. There's action, and that
Mhm.
someone's actually coming up with a
Okay.
plan, right?
This
There
is
are
option 3,
options.
communities that are in shared services
Yeah.
arrangement may complete their tabletop together, but since each community still has separate emergency plans, they must still complete their own community ARIP for submission to meet the deliverable. So we can coordinate this with Erin
Yep.
and still have our own, but, hopefully there's kind of like a guideline. There's also, resources and policy guidance,
Yeah, they have to have
Website
it
here.
by December 31st.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll notify all the departments that we need to get this completed.
Yeah, I've reached out to Erin, and I reached out to her again today about it, and I'll try to coordinate something and see what she's doing with other towns, and see how we can just
Okay,
coordinate with the departments that we need to.
okay.
So I just had, but we have to coordinate with our departments.
Yes.
Yes.
By
Says,
Well,
it looks
well-
like everything needs to be,
the 20th.
the requirement is satisfied by submitting your
I think
community's
that's for if you
ARIP by
wanna submit
December.
this,
All
if
right,
you
so
wanna
we
do
have
the
to the
virtual
end of
tabletop,
December,
yeah.
though.
You have
It
it to
says
the end
to
of
complete the
December
virtual
to,
one.
where is it?
Yeah. I would see what Erin says, because maybe she's already started coordinating something with the
Yeah.
shared service department.
Yeah, that's under option 1. If each community
Yeah.
conducts their own exercise and writes their own AARIP, the community AARIP is submitted to HMCC by 12/31.
So if we were gonna go regional, we'd be in scenario 2.
Option 3. 3, I
Option
think.
3,
Communities that are in a shared
Yeah.
service agreement.
yep.
Mm.
So I guess we'll see what the other towns want, and then if they're going on their own, then.
Yep. Either way, we gotta get it done.
And it's also depending on what it is, you know, does it
I think
require-
we're gonna be making up our own tabletop scenarios. I don't think there's, anything dictated
So-
to us.
So we have to actually come up with
Yeah.
that. 'Cause I could possibly have even Nina.
Well, yeah, like, I think a good one would be, you know, something like deal with tornadoes.
Yeah. Floods and tornadoes, floods and wind seem to be our biggest problem. Falling around.
Okay, any other discussion on that?
No.
Charles, you
Coordinate.
I think we wait and see what, the other towns wanna do and go from there, cause, if they don't wanna work with us on that first part, then
Yep,
we're doing the whole thing on our own.
Well, I'll reach out to the chiefs and just kinda get it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let them know.
Started.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe we could forward that whole email to them.
okay.
Forward it to you.
Yeah, so I can kinda share it with them more.
I did actually.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
Um,
look it up.
I could do it again though.
Yeah.
Okay, next item, agenda item is the follow-up on transfer station recording. We've gotta get a date.
Yep.
soon?
Well, it's, usually during the day, I'm pretty free.
Okay, why don't we schedule today for Wednesday next week?
Wednesday next week.
Yes.
Alright, let me see.
Are you working the night before?
I'm working the night before, but that's not a huge.
So what time do you wanna do in,
I would probably say sometime after noon time, because I got a couple appointments in the morning.
so why don't we make it 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock works, yeah.
Okay. And we'll meet here,
Yeah, I'll meet
And
here,
go
then
from
go
there.
down there and,
okay. You gonna have the keys ready for,
Yeah, there's a gate code.
okay.
it's the 17th, right?
At what time did you say?
2. Yeah, that gives me a chance to put all the babies to bed.
Yeah,
Yeah, 17th.
the 24th. Tomorrow is the 17th.
Oh, 24th, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for pointing that out.
Okay. Next agenda item is discussion on farmer's market. Discussion on creating a permit, fees, and schedule for farmers' market, so weekly temporary permits don't need to be issued. You wanna kick this off?
I'm not sure where I stand on this quite yet because this is such a new farmer's market. They seem to be kind of switching their vendors week to week.
Yeah.
So I would say for this season, until they get their feet wet with it, I would table that for now. And then, because the only issue with doing seasonal permits is they back out 1 week and then they're like, well, I didn't attend.
Otherwise, yeah.
It just seems to be a little bit chaotic for no reason, especially if they're only doing it for a few weeks. If it was a longer period of time, like the whole summer, then I would say maybe. But I think since it's new to them, I think we should wait on this.
Well, it's
and
new
see.
to them, it's new to us,
see
because
how
they
it
threw it
goes.
at us out of the blue.
Yeah, I would definitely wait to see how that goes.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So, in the meantime, we can work on fees and,
Yeah,
Stuff
that's,
like that. Get that all
something
squared away for the
Jessica
next-
and I were talking about is different fees specifically because we have our first cottage food person coming to town. A lot of towns will do a cottage food fee, and because you're not charging them a permit fee for their restaurant per se, you're not charging them every single time they go place, because that is their restaurant, is a market. So
Right.
Jessica and I are gonna sit down and kind of create a policy and a procedure in place for the different permit fees for a cottage food market versus a restaurant versus vendor.
okay, so we'll table that till later. Okay, any other comments?
Just with the farmers markets and stuff.
Mm-hmm,
I know it's brand new, they started it.
right. I mean, I think it's only a $10 donation is what they're doing for their fee per time. And it seems to be when we inquired about food, they said that it was kind of switching week to week or who was coming. So I think the $10 is fairly sufficient for now. That's not really gouging them by any means, and until we can figure
For-
out next year.
For our temporary permit,
For the farmer's market,
for the farmer's market.
right? They were doing $10.
For the temporary permit that we're having them fill out, if they are requesting to do it, which we haven't had anybody
Yeah,
even
we haven't even had
request,
anybody.
it
So
is
no one's
$25.
came.
No, yeah, so that one's 25 for the food, but no one's come. That's why I said, and then they wanted 2 for this Friday, but we need more time than
Right.
3 days to request to do that. That's why I said eventually maybe it would be a thing to discuss on farmers markets.
So those two maybe would be
bunch.
the next week, right? Or if they
I wouldn't
came
even
back.
go, I'd say this season we stay where we are,
Yeah,
and then next season, ahead of time, we get everything all ironed out, the fees and
and then we
everything
could
else.
potentially do like a farmer's market fee
Do we know how long the farmer's market's
So,
gonna run?
So in the future, maybe it would be, for next season, having a representative from the parks
Right.
come to one of these meetings and
Yep.
talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we know if there's a time frame right now or no?
I think it's
believe
only
that
going
it's-
4
it's-
weeks, isn't it?
It's every Friday in September. for
Just
the
that-
new-
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure we received the email back, so I wasn't sure about.
So it's definitely
Information.
this week and possibly next week.
So I would say no food then, because it's you're
Yeah,
less than
you're
14
already-
days, and we did let them know last week that they
Yeah, so
needed
it's
to be
already-
14 days.
Okay.
I was willing again to let it slide a little bit for this week and last week, but we haven't received any
Yeah,
anyways, so.
if you haven't received anything,
There was a request out today regarding a specific, food item that we were unsure if it needed a permit or not, and
And it
after
does.
discussing it, it
Yeah.
does need a permit, and I did tell,
Mhm.
Danielle and then said, you know,
yeah.
I believe I reached out to her and said that we need the 14 days, but, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right, the next one, we kind of ate that up into this one too, was food events per regional health inspector going forward. Any event including a food vendor needs at least 14-day notice for approvals. Okay. Discussion on creating a trash bin bylaw.
Jimmy?
Yes, this is a great idea. We've been having over time here, a lot of issues with trash cans. Winter, summer, blocking sidewalks, you can't even walk down sidewalks. So this is something needs to be created here.
More of a, there's no, yeah, so I would say more of like an obstructing the sidewalk bylaw than trash would help.
Yeah, it's basically covering everything, not just trash.
Right.
From,
Bulk items.
yeah, from furniture to,
Furniture, mattresses, trash cans, bicycles, pickup trucks, toys, whatever.
but now that I cover parking on the sidewalk, that's a.
Parking ban is separate,
police- That's, yeah.
that's got its own bylaw.
Sarah, I think that's a great idea, Jimmy, we see it in our
Yeah.
neighborhood, it's terrible. But perhaps the town could just amend our general bylaw about obstruction sidewalks versus creating a whole nother one, might be a little bit easier route. So,
It's an option.
Yeah. We have one, it's pretty,
Huh?
pretty vague in
It's pretty
ours.
vague, but we can add to it.
Or can you add this
Yeah.
language basically to it? That's what we.
We would have to go
right?
through legal to do that. So, yeah, I would take the next step. As long as we all agree here to kick this to legal to get it done.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yep, I'll make a motion to vote on, taking the section, what is that, 6? Dash 12, obstructing sidewalks, prohibited regulation.
Yeah, and
That's
that's the town of
that's
Ludlow's
Ludlow's.
sample
Oh,
one.
That was
Okay.
just my sample.
This is just a
That was just my
sample.
sample, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, this is, but
So we'll-
taking this language and
Yeah.
putting
And
it
twisting it
to.
We
to your
will-
own, correct?
make a
Yeah.
motion to, review the existing, we have an existing sidewalks obstruction bylaw, review that.
Yeah, it may not
and-
be an obstructing one, but it's something, it's a
Mhm.
sidewalk.
Right, it's in there
Bylaw.
somehow under police for parked vehicles or something, and adding
Very
to it,
vague.
obstructing sidewalks, kicking it to legal and having them review what we would like added to it, get their approval before we go ahead and do this. So I make a motion to move this to legal. All those in favor of?
Aye.
Okay, motion made, motion carried. Anything else you wanna say on it?
It's just, once we get this in place,
Be a matter
who
of
is
enfor-
gonna
yeah.
enforce this? Is it enforceable by?
It is.
police,
just- Yeah, so it'll be in your, if it's in your bylaws, I can
Inspectors
enforce it
or-
via the housing code.
you can, okay.
And if we attach it to what's there for parking, maybe it doubles the effect by the police also. That's something we need to check with on legal. Okay, any old business? 28 Cottage Street?
Yeah,
Touched on
we
that a
kind of
little bit.
reviewed that already, that it's, we have a court hearing next week.
Next Wednesday, I'm going to court for 28 Cottage.
Okay, and 28 Cottage Street is the one that we can't get close to down in the back? Can't get the tenants to respond to anything? Can't get the owner to
The home-
respond?
The homeowner,
The
yeah.
homeowner? So we're kicking this to housing court, and then we're gonna have to deal with how they dictate it gets cleaned up.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, any other comments on 28 Cottage Street?
Nope.
Bills and payroll,
Comments
Alright.
and concerns,
huh?
comments and concerns too. if
Oh, I
anybody
skipped
has
that.
any.
All right, any comments and concerns on anything?
The only thing I have, I know there's been a few complaints about, I think it's sewage on Washburn Ave.
Yep.
So, the guys at the sewer plant, they, snake the main line as far as, they can tell it's coming from a lateral from one of the properties. Jessica gave us a number for Mass Rural Water. We reached out to them, we haven't gotten a call back from them, but we're gonna continue to reach out to them to see if they can help us.
So they're gonna come out potentially and do a GPR and find out what that lateral is coming from, which property it's coming from, and who
Right,
owns
cause
it.
from sewer department wise, it's not the main, so anything outside of the main is beyond our purview, so it'd be up to whatever
Can
property
we-
owner that lateral belongs.
Can we potentially put a safeguard around that, such as, like sawhorses across,
Yeah, it's in
To
the
keep
middle of
people
the
out of it.
yard.
It's in the middle of her yard / like in the road, so I met with the homeowner last week. She believes it's absolutely not her lateral, so this is where we're running into a crossroad of, it's not the homeowner, we're trying to figure out who it belongs to. It's backing up though, so.
yeah, well, what I'm looking at is because it's an open hole,
It's getting larger.
it's getting larger, we should put a barricade or something around that to prevent
Yep.
another foreseeable incident from happening.
I agree.
Yeah, I can
So I would reach out to her and talk to her to see if we can get some barricades or something to put around it.
For the time being.
About
For the
a,
time being.
like a temporary, snow fence,
Yeah, I can,
something like that.
check with the guys at the plant.
Yeah,
I
some
know-
Yeah, I'm
sawhorses
not sure where
or,
they're gonna park if we do that, cause
Huh?
there's not very much room for multiple vehicles in that area and for anybody to turn around.
is it in a parking area?
It's,
Are they driving on it?
it's a driveway that goes straight
There's a car
down.
down there.
There's parking here, which there's vehicles here, and there's parking straight ahead, which one parking spot apparently is right over a hole, and another one is right next to it, and there's a hole right behind where they
So the
park.
potential already exists, I mean, if it's a hole that's growing and they're parking over it, that's a hazard.
Yeah, I requested to reach out to, or I reached out to the sewer department today to go down and take a look again to see if there was anything they could do in the meantime. I haven't heard back, but he was going to look. I ended up going
She
down
went
with
out today.
Mr. Ferrera this afternoon to show him the issue, and to see that in the hole, there is complete running water coming out of this hole with toilet paper and cigarettes coming out. I know we don't control sewer mains, we only do septic in Title V, so
I'm just
Like
looking
she
to
was
prevent
saying.
something else from happening
Yeah,
that
Yeah.
is
so on my
potentially
end,
there.
on my end, it's gonna become a health hazard, it's gonna become a health risk to the homeowner and the other people on the street. The issue is the homeowner has stated she does not have the funds to clean it up.
But we also know that there are potential grants out there for something like this to be taken care of.
Correct. She's just, I think, hesitant.
Then I think if that lateral belongs to another property, then it's on that other property.
Correct.
over
Correct,
to-
but it
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
creates, that issue is creating another hazard to
Right.
other people.
Right.
And that's what I don't want
Mhm.
to see happen.
Yeah,
I mean,
agree.
well, those
And
sinkholes
it's
can just grow
running.
overnight.
It's running right now, like running water coming out of the pipe.
All right, I'm gonna, bring this up to the next Board of Selectmen meeting to see if there's something that we can do.
I mean, Mr. Ferrez, he witnessed it in
Yeah.
person too, to
Yep.
be able to speak on behalf of what he saw.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get clarity from the, I don't know how long their snake is that they can do the video. I'm wondering if they're able to, if there's like an open pipe
Yeah.
that they can
Don't-
access if they.
Jeremy has a camera, and I
Okay.
think it goes 300 feet,
No, it's
doesn't it?
just, it's actually the sewer department's camera.
Oh,
They run it.
So I'll talk with them.
But
I know
could-
they're a little backed up. Our chief operator passed away last week, so which the assistant operator and one other person, so I know they are a little backed up, but if there's an exposed pipe that they can get to,
That's it.
I mean, yeah, you
It's
can't physically
exposed.
see the pipe,
Yeah.
but you could see a hole that the homeowner is trying to cover with some gravel and stuff
Okay.
too. But it's just
wonder
coming
if they could maybe try snaking
right
Yeah.
through.
through that and kinda get a direction where that lateral's
There-
coming from.
There was an email back and forth with Ralph saying that he did snake the area
Mhm.
and he snaked it 54 feet and at the 53-foot mark, there was some sort of distorted pipe and some sort of, he didn't say full blockage, but some sort of blockage at that area. And then I believe, to my understanding and to what the homeowners said to us when we were there, that it then just stopped, like nothing else was done after that point, so then it was relayed to us
Yeah,
regarding
it just,
the
it seems like it's
sewage.
frustration on the homeowners end that she says people just keep coming out from the sewer department and not doing anything, and I think it's, trying to figure out who's gonna be responsible
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it, is figuring out where that, cause sewer department doesn't have any record of that lateral, so who
well, we
knows
didn't
where.
have a record of the other one either on Travel Street.
Yeah, exactly, so it's,
So-
trying to figure out where that's coming from to be able to go forward with
Trace it,
Yeah,
yeah.
All right, so,
I think it falls on the sewer department unless there's a
I mean,
nuisance.
yeah, if it, right now, we're waiting on the sewer department to confirm kind of who's gonna fix it. I mean, I can definitely go out with site for nuisance, for a health hazard, but it's gonna fall on the homeowner right now because it's sewage on her property.
mhm.
And this poor lady, I mean, we're a partial party, but I kinda wanted some answers before we kind of send
Yeah.
out a notice of code inspection. for
yeah, like I said, I
nuisance.
know 2 voicemails were left for, Mass Rural Water, and I'm gonna try them again tomorrow, like every other day till we get a call back.
Yeah.
The assistant plant operator left the first 2, and because they're backed up, I told him I'll continue calling and calling.
You know, to my knowledge, I don't know if the sewer department is part of it, but they have the Mass Rural Water, you have to be like part of their association with a small fee, and then all those services are provided, so I don't know if you guys are part of that, and I'm sure the process is super quick to sign
Yeah.
up and just exchange money, a small fee, but I know they have great services to be able to offer to the town.
Okay, yeah, I'll look into that too.
All right. Any other discussion on that?
If they're in need of any barriers or something.
I,
quickly.
I would seriously
know.
contact her again,
She wants us out there a lot. so
talk to
she'd be
them, see if
comfortable
we
with
can
that.
put some temporary, even if it's like, you know, a grading or,
I mean, should
I would
highway.
say,
something
I would say like
to
a
cover
metal
it.
plate.
a metal plate, a road plate or something.
I'd say
You know-
probably like a road plate would be better,
Yeah.
cause if we're, cause then at least they're still able to
You,
use.
they can still park there.
Yeah,
I feel
they can
like-
still park there, we're not blocking it off, and it's still accessible for when we can get out there to,
You can open, pick up the road plate and move it.
yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Is DPW even able to do that with it being a private roadway?
That's the other thing, we don't really have much control on that
Yeah.
road.
So I'm not sure if that's something
But if we got
that should be
permission
done.
From the homeowner.
Yeah,
from the, permission from the homeowner to do that.
yeah, but I know there can't be certain things done for private properties either, like the town can't do special work for private property, so I don't know what kind of coverage or thing that
They
can
got-
be.
they
I
got
mean, the
like a-
sewer department can maybe go out and just
If they got a contractor
put
to
something.
look into buttoning it up, I don't know. That would be probably the way to
Problem is,
go.
you get a contractor in there, they're not gonna wanna take the liability.
Yeah.
I'd check maybe with Jim to see if we're even allowed to put something like a road plate on it first, that, you know, cause he says town can't be involved, cause it's on private property at all, then you have to think of something else to kinda help him out.
I got an idea. Alright,
Anonymous donation.
yeah. No, I have a idea, maybe it work, maybe it won't. Okay, any other comments and concerns on anything? In public, any comments and concerns? Okay, bills and payroll?
All right, I make a motion to pay the following bills. Daniel Thibodeau, monthly stipend for September, $208.33. James McKeon, monthly stipend, September, $208.33. Travis Baker, monthly stipend, September, $208.33. Animal inspector Ryan Davis, September, monthly stipend, $100. Quabbin Athletical Laboratory, August and September, water testing, $325.
Hold up right there. Are we done with that now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have anything left in that account?
Yes, we have the remainder for, May to June 30th left in that account.
Okay. All right,
Town of Warren sewer leaching for September 3rd, 2025, $90. Slims and Berthium sewer invoice, $350. Bartlett Judas Burnett's trash removal invoice, this must be for September, right?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, for the September, $719.50. Solid Waste Solutions, September 2025 invoice, $2,350. And that is all of our bills. Motion to pay.
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Approval of minutes from 8/12/25.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from August 12th, 2025.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Next meeting will be October 21st. Everybody in agreement?
Yeah, that's gonna start with the public hearing and then go.
Then
on
go
to
on
regular-
from there.
At 4
Yep.
PM.
Regular hearing.
Yep.
Yep, regular hearing.
Yep.
Yes.
It's
Uh,
4 PM is the public
Is the
hearing.
public hearing?
Oh,
then-
that's right, yeah.
And then they'll continue the meeting right after,
At the conclusion of the,
at the hearing, yeah.
conclusion of the hearing.
Will be the public meeting, yeah. Okay, motion to adjourn.
Make a
Oh.
motion to adjourn at 7:23. Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, aye. Motion is accepted. Meeting is adjourned.